18 races of action in the FORL Cup Series in its third season have led us to tonight. And after every race that we have seen at big tracks, small tracks, and everything in between, only 4 drivers have a chance to come home and claim the championship victory. And those 4 we will mention as the stream gets underway. We are under, of course, our final qualifying session of the season, and so far Cash Cope has provisional pole, and now Alex Jones able to get it done on top temporarily. We'll see whether or not he is able to hold on overall, as we are good to go for the final time in Phoenix. And as we get into it this time around, Phoenix Raceway, the home to the second season finale, and we've been waiting for this one all season long. 18 weeks have led us here, and now Trevor Huff going to be top of the board with a great lap at 27.222 for him. Alexander over there is going to be able to take it third now in reverse as Brandon Redford on his way. He was in last season's Final Four, but this season's Final Four all-star talent, and it's going to come down to 4 drivers. It's going to be James Thurston in the number 96 machine. Then it's going to be Max Molina in the number 45. It's going to be the 99 machine of Sean Rowe, second on the board in qualifying, and finally the underdog of all underdogs, it's the 91 machine of Ross Corlett, looking to get it done for CCH Motorsport, and the team that dominated the opening segment of this season now looking to cap off the championship hunt with a bang. And it's all possible here in Phoenix for the final 100 laps of the season. The man in the 91 machine getting through his first qualifying lap that time by, going to be able to put himself 12th on the board in the number 91. James Thurston, as is, going to be third on the board. He's 97 thousandths off a pole and just a bit off of the man right in front of him, Sean Rowe, going to be able to start there in second. So great run for the man in the 99. James Thurston gonna have to catch up just a bit more that he's got to get through as he comes to the line once again, and I don't believe this one's gonna count. However, Thurston getting extra practice laps for 100 final laps. And as we get into it this time around, the final 4 drivers in our playoff style championship chase are level on points tonight at a total of 4,000 apiece. So with that being said, whoever finishes first out of these 4, Thurston, Rowe, Molina. Now Molina goes third on the board right behind his teammate and Ross Corlett, as it's going to be the top 4 drivers in the championship, second, third, 4th, and 5th in the qualifying order. Whoever of those 4 has the highest finish at night's end, they will be crowned your Season 2 champion. I'm your host for the Knights of David Kreutz. I hope you enjoy the presentation, as 4 incredible drivers who have been able to endure this entire season better than anyone else now have a chance. And when it comes down to your final 4 drivers, they're some of the best in the business. And the 96 machine going to despawn there as qualifying still underway. So as we took a look at other drivers with entries, we'll take a look at your fastest 4 on the season overall. In a total of 18 races, only one man has the all-time wins lead in the season, and that's the man coming in as seed number 1 in tonight's event. James Thurston with 4 wins on the season in the number 96 will be starting in position number 4 on the grid, but he's got the most wins going into this one, looking to cap it off. And actually, it's going to be 3 wins for him, looking for win number 4 if he gets it done tonight, and might just go his way. However, it's going to be Max Molina 1 spot ahead of him on the grid, who comes in as seed 1 now. He's going to have 4 wins and looking for win number 5. Almost a quarter of the races this season he has won, looking to make it more than that if he gets it done here tonight in the prime time. This is the most important race of the season for him and any other driver. He wants this one bad, and he wants it with good reason. Now Sean Rowe in the number 99, he comes in with 2 wins on the season. His teammate Max Molina running a great season, and so is he. So both of these 2, the 99 and the 45, great drivers to look out for, as finally in that final 4, the underdog Ross Corlett, the number 91 machine, comes in with an outside shot. He's the only driver in that championship hunt, even still, that has no victories on the season, and looking to get its first here tonight. And even if he does not come out with the overall victory, he could win the championship by finishing ahead of Thurston, Molina, and Sean Rowe. Michael Deitch still taking extra laps on the board here, as it appears that the drivers out in front, including Michael Deitch, have already set their timed laps. As it is, Trevor Huff going to be top of the board as Michael Deitch continues the loop in and out, getting himself familiarized with the track. Ahead of him, Phoenix Raceway, the 1 mile circuit in Phoenix, Arizona, and it is the place to be, as right now he's far out in front of anyone. Michael Deitch taking extra practice laps in the night. Last season's championship finale was not a nighttime event, it occurred in the day, so a much different climate for drivers such as Balderas and Brandon Redford, two drivers who were in the championship's Final Four last season. They're here once again, and this time they're looking for victory, not in the championship, but in the race. Brandon Redford, who made it to the round of 7, was not able to make it done in his championship chances. They fell away at the very end of the season. He still got a chance at one victory on this year, but it's going to be all about execution, as right now Michael Deitch executing back-to-back solid laps, that time by 28.161, and it appears his best lap 8/10 off your pole sitter, as tire degradation begins to play a factor in this qualifying session. Deitch might be able to get to know it a bit better than any other driver, but we'll see if anyone else has a bit more in it. Giraffe Parka going to come in for Max Molina. Let's go, Max Molina. The fans coming in. If you have a favorite driver, be sure to give them some love in the chat room. Always available for any person or any fan or any driver to come in. And if you have anything to say, subscribe to the channel for more than 1 minute and you'll be good to go from there on out. Michael Deitch still going to be on his way, but we have just a bit of time, and we'll get in your starting grid with the break that we appear to have here, as Deitch still on his way. On the move he is, and we'll be right back with your starting grid on your screen in just a moment. It appears about 15 drivers have taken a qualifying lap, and putting themselves on the grid is a crucial start to, of course, the final event of the year. Every other race has, of course, been intense, but this one is the most intense, and very few drivers have been able to make it all the way. Championship contenders bowing out of the season early, but now it's the time to shine for those that have lasted all the way. Cash Culp wishing that Trevor Huff gets it done for the 03 operation, driving for Cash Culp, and here you go. This is your starting final grid of the season. It's going to be the final grid in qualifying, and let's get it underway. The FORL Cup Series Season 2 finale here in Phoenix Raceway, led up by the man in that number 03. Trevor Huff gets a 27.222. He'll be starting in the pole position right beside Sean Rowe. Second on the board for him, a 27.237 on the outside of row number 1. That's going to be in the third spot, Max Molina with a 27.284, and James Thurston going to be in fourth with a 27.319. Rounding at your top 5, the final man in that championship for Ross Corlett, going to be the fourth of 4 on the grid. Inside of row number 3, he's going to have a 27.485 in store, as Alexander Balderas able to take it in with the 27.554. He'll be 6th on the grid tonight. Alex Jones going to be 7th with a 27.555, and Brandon Redford with a 27.595 going to be 8th on the grid himself. Cash Cope going to make it so in the top 10, 27.266. Now going to be a 626. Recalculation at the line, going to give him a few more tenths there, and Hunter Whitlock locks in to the top 10 one final time for the man who entered this series just a bit late on a hot streak so far. Multiple podiums to get his run going. He's 10th tonight, looking for one more to cap this one off. Then's going to be Joseph Lewis in 11th with a 27.757, and Michael Deitch with a 28.021. He'll be 12th on the board, and then Keegan Donnery makes himself at home, 13th on the night in qualifying, 28.102, with Jonathan Leisure 14th on the board with a total of a 28.102 for now the Doherty machine, as Joseph Lewis takes it up to 11th. Kenny Rio going to be there in 12th. Leisure going to be in position number 15 at the moment. Hunter Bogdan going to make it to the top 16 outside of row number 8. He's going to have a 30.059, and from there on out, the remainder of the drivers have not taken timed laps. Bogdan, the last of which, with a 30.059, the spread in qualifying about 2 seconds deep. Jackson Carr registers just a bit late, 17th on the board, and the final man to be able to register as John Smith, 18th on the grid himself, will be there on the outside of row number 9. Then is going to be your final row on the board. Zach Milano and Joaquin Stewart, your admin team, who have facilitated every race of the season, looking to get this one done after a great season, exponentially better than last time around. Now it's time to get it done. Keegan Doherty, thank you for letting me know as we get it in one more time. It's going to be Joaquin Stewart on the bookend and Trevor Huff top of the board, and that's going to be your starting grid for the final event of the season, the FORL Cup Series Championship finale and championship expectations for the final 4 men on the grid. Trevor Huff, however, going to be able to spoil the party and win that pole position battle. The final run in qualifying this year, well, it's not going to be just quite. We'll have another season to go this year, going to be season number 3, brought to you very soon on FDN, but season number 2 is going to end here, and it is going to end in just 100 laps time. The final dash, it's not going to be a marathon, it might just be the fastest sprint these drivers have ever had to endure, as Huff's going to be on the grid, and so is, of course, the remainder of the field. The number 03 machine, top of the board, as we get things going when every driver gets ready to grab a gear one more time for 100 laps. And the most intense show in sim racing on a Wednesday night, well, it's going to be starting right now, and the number 3 and number 99 machine will be those that lead it off as they grab their gear in just a minute's time. The race will be on its way, and every driver up front has a shot at one more checkered flag. And as it stands right now, the 03 and the 99 out in front on that front row, and those behind them, including of course Molina and Thurston, have a great opportunity to get it done for their own right. And Ross Corlett, only driver in that final 4 who's winless this season so far, has one more chance to get his first and perhaps only victory on the season. All these storylines and then some collide for one more showcase. Here we go again, and here we go for the final time in season number 2. Trevor Huff leads him off. And one more pace lap for the iRacing official pace car. Now 100 laps. Our first stage break comes in at lap number 25. Our second going to come at lap 50, and from there on out, the remaining portion of the race, however it comes to be, it will be in the hands of every driver. It will be all for themselves, and hopefully we get some clean racing in, as this is of course the way they want to end it, clean with some speed and a great drive to the checkered flag. 4 drivers for the championship shot, and of course 1 out in front. Trevor Huff with a final pole position of the season, going to line up next year. Top driver in the qualifying for the championship 4 in Sean Rowe, Molina, Thurston, and then Ross Corlett. Your final 4, get it done one more time. Through the gears once more. It's going to be the green flag from Phoenix, the final race of the season. And a big send by Max Molina. They're already squirrely 2 in the back of the wreck. And now it's going to be 1 down to the inside line. He's going to be able to save it. No, Bogdan goes on the track. It's a big wreck, and the caution's out. Lap number 1. And a lot of drivers going around. Jonathan Leisure involved in a minor wreck, and you can see the 54 there. Jackson Carr going to be in the mix, and a yellow flag out at lap number 1. It looks like Todrick's going to park it, perhaps immediately here, and not good news at all up in front. It's going to be a dramatic start to the final race of the season. Let's find out just what happened. And you can see he's right there, and it's going to be the big move for the 28 machine. Not of Jonathan Leisure for a while there. It looks like he'd be able to keep it straight, but no, he was not able to. And we'll get the ticker back on your screen. It's going to be Cash Cope going into the number 17 machine of Keegan Doherty there. It looks like Doherty going to go all the way down and around the 17 machine, of course, right there with them. And the 88 able to get by. Hunter Bogdan going to be in it. Jackson Carr and Brandon Redford as Cash Cope and John Smith get a move on as well. And it's going to be Brody Tostaika in the mix himself. 18 drivers able to take to the green flag, and a few already involved in the first caution of this season finale. Out in front, Jonathan Leisure is not, but Trevor Huff in his Chevy Camaro machine is, and the Ryko setup machine, well, it's going to be the Arrow setup machine, and the Arrow has hit the target, and you can see far out in front, he's able to hold on. It's Molina in second, Sean Rowe in third, and Alexander Balderas there in fourth. But it appears at the end of the day, one driver who loses an awful lot of time, it's going to be James Thurston. Thurston right now going to be in 7th on the board, and starting up at the top 5 and falling very quickly to the back of the top 10. Not what we want to see at all, but it appears nonetheless he'll be able to keep going without much of an issue. He'll be able to regroup and recoup his losses as the night goes on. Now, to get things started, no drivers up in front have gone down pit road. John Smith has. Cash Colt making his way out, and Brandon Redford in the number 47 there as well. Brody Tostaika on the move, and Jonathan Leisure down on pit road. We don't have a great angle of it, but you can see he is in fact there as Trevor Huff holds on strong out in front, 3 laps in out of 100. The iRacing official pace car going to lead him in once again, and now coming down to the line, Huff makes it so and takes him back. It should be 1 to green this time by, and down through the final turn, they make it once again. Now, Phoenix Raceway, one of the most interesting tracks on the NASCAR circuit. You might see a big space of open asphalt that it would usually be delegated to the infield grassland section of most circuits. Now, that's not the case here in Phoenix. The dogleg, as they call it, is open, and you can go all the way down to the pit entry barrel. If you want to race there, it's all up to you. You might be able to make it happen. Some of the drivers might not, and some drivers choosing to risk it early. Max Molina went down to the dogleg, and he is up into position number 2 already. Sean Rowe going to be in 3rd. Alexander Balears going to be in 4th, and Ross Corlett rounds out your top 5. Corlett going to be 3rd on the board in the championship standings as he's ahead of James Thurston, but not ahead of your PBR teammates, and those teammates far out right now. It's going to be the drivers of Molina and Sean Rowe 2nd and 3rd on the board, but overall they're going to be 1st and 2nd in the championship, as Trevor Huff, who debuted last week at Daytona, showed a dominating grip on the field, even in the plate racing. So now looking to get his first win in the final race of the season. It is very likely he gets it done here, if not next season. And of course, always next year going to come around for these drivers, but you want to win it here and you want to win it now. Show these drivers what you got in store before the next season comes around. And so far, Trevor Huff has done a nice job of just that, out in front with the Molina machine right on his outside. Alexander Balears is going to be there in 3rd, and Sean Rowe is going to be in 4th as they go double file once again for the first restart of the night. Now, a thing that we haven't mentioned, the FORL Cup Series championship race last season was not broadcasted on YouTube. If we had 15 likes on this stream, next week we will get that archive out onto YouTube for the first and only time viewers will be able to see the whole race, and we'll have it live next week on the same time slot as a full race replay. Be sure to check in on that, as we have that offer available for the night. If we hit 15 likes on the stream, we'll get it into you. But right now, Trevor Huff's gonna like what he's seeing. Clean skies, and it's gonna be a clean road for him. Green flags out once more. First restart of the night underway. Max Molina forced 3 wide immediately there by Ross Corlett and James Thurston. Championship impact. It could be. Thurston going to be way loose there, and now he's going to be able to fall back to the pack, and it's going to be a big swallow up. Redford gets in front of him. The 82 machine of Joseph Lewis goes, but Thurston crosses him over 3 and makes it back. Now he's going to be fighting with Alex Jones for 6. He goes down to the dogleg, and so does Alexander Balears. You can see drivers taking that dogleg to gain time. He gains on the man in the numbers 45 machine, and Alex Jones passed by James Thurston with Ross Corlett right there in a 5th. Take a look here. And Corlett in the 91 holding on 7 laps in out of 100. Fierce competition James Thurston has been all season long. The winningest driver in the championship hunt thus far. It's going to go down and in to the inside line once again. And it's going to be Brandon Redford following him that time around. And Corlett now not going to be in front of the man in the 96. It's going to be vice versa as they're side by side, down and around. It's going to be Corlett chasing the man at the number 96 machine. James Thurston gets there into 5th. Not bad at all. And he'll be able to take that spot nice and easy over Alexander Balears. Now Balears is in 3rd and chasing down the man in the number 45. Very close. Too close for comfort. That is a possibility. Tyler Tinsley, thank you for stopping by. As you can see, the number 95 machine getting chased down by the number 96 and fighting side by side. It looks like right now they're single file, so you won't see all too much early aggression, as calculated aggression is much more important for these drivers. One on the wall that time by. It's going to be the man in, it looks like, the number 55 of Jackson Carr. He keeps it going. No caution, although Carr going to be able to slam that wall big. And you can see in our close-up drone shot, he has a big problem on that left side. Leif Opstad, thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoy the broadcast, as the 17th spot man now falls all the way to the back of the pack, and Trevor Huff leads him over Sean Rowe in 2nd. Bad news for the man in the 99 for the race lead, but the championship lead is still his, and he's still going to be clear of every driver thus far in terms of that final 4. Sean Rowe with his team owner and Zach Todger watching in the chat room leads them, and Max Molina holding off on defense. They're 1st and 2nd, the team is right now. James Thurston, though, looking to claw into it time and time again. Thurston goes down to the inside line of the man in the number 45 machine. He gets closer. No cigars thus yet, and he's going to be able to go down the backstretch with a big amount of momentum. It's going to be a head full of steam for the driver of the 96. That time by, or this time by, Sean Rowe runs a 27.842. Max Molina runs a 27.733, but now James Thurston runs a 27.709, and they go side by side for the championship lead immediately. Double file out in front for the title battle. Molina going to be there on the inside line, and Sean Rowe going to be on the outside, but Molina looks fast. Keep an eye out on James Thurston, though, as Thurston has his head on a swivel. He's going out to the outside. Now on Max Molina, he might be able to get that powerful run on Sean Rowe, as Rowe looks to be the slowest of the top three in the championship battle. Thurston almost taps the wall, though, and now crosses over on Molina, and he might be able to get the man in the 99 this time around. No, he does not. Rowe going to be able to consolidate that line, and now it's going to be a big compromise for James Thurston. Thurston going to be right there in the mix, and the man who's won 4 races, he might not win this one. Trevor Huff out in front. He's got clean skies, but the battle behind him, it is brewing, and it's getting more and more intense right up over the man of the number 03 machine. And it's a high-pressure scenario right behind him, but Trevor Huff so far has been able to play it calm and collected. In the 03 machine, he's out in front. James Thurston now going to be in second, and he is going to be the championship lead with a perfect execution. It's going to be a nice and smooth crossover. The 96 now leads the way, and it's going to be Sean Rowe in third, Max Molina in fourth. We're 3 likes off of our like goal for tonight's event, 12 likes in 15, and we will release the full championship race from last season, as this season's championship race has been exciting all around. 15 laps in, out of 100, and the championship stakes are as high as they've ever been. James Thurston able to get right up to the lead that time around. It's going to be Sean Rowe in second, and Max Molina in third, and Alexander Badera is able to hold on strong in the top 5 as Ross Corlett fights with Brandon Redford, and right now Corlett struggling just a bit. He's the David going into this one compared to the Goliath of Thurston in the PBR camp, and right now it seems like he's having a bit of trouble using what he's got in his arsenal. That time around, Redford able to make the pass and keep himself in front. Alexander Balearis evidently has pace quicker than the both of which, and Redford holds him up way high, and Corlett not going to be happy about that. Tries to cut into the inside line that time through, although looks like nothing more could be done. Trevor Huff still leads the way, and James Thurston now has the championship lead by 4/10 of a second. Now, I will say this with, of course, the context from last season, as we do hope to release that championship race next week. It is all about where you finish. James Thurston in a similar position to Alexander Balderas in the championship hunt last season. Balderas led with 2 laps to go, and he was not able to get it done. And now it looks like Alexander Balderas in trouble as we mentioned him. Balderas is going to be in the inside wall, and he's going to be in big trouble indeed. 20-second replay on the man who was not able to get it done last season. It looks like Phoenix going to give him very similar trouble to what happened last time by. And he gets down to the apron, and he's going to lose control. And Phoenix has not treated him kindly in this league. 2 straight championship finales. This time he's not a contender in one, but he loses major time, and he's going to have to regroup that one as quickly as he can. Balderas back in the move. Trevor Huff going to be out in front, and James Thurston going to be in second here. 18 laps in out of 100. Caution is going to come out at lap number 25 for your first stage break on the night, and Sean Rowe going to be in third at the moment. Max Molina going to be there in fourth, and Brandon Redford is the man who rounds out your top 5. Ross Corlett going to be in 6th here, as Alex Jones going to be able to chase himself closer and closer to the man in the 91. Ross Corlett getting closer and closer to the top 5 spot for a while there, but now he's fading back, and it's going to be vice versa. Alex Jones getting closer and closer to Ross Corlett. Sean Rowe going to be third on the board here, as it looks like they passed one man who's going to be one down. That's going to be Joseph Lucy. Slots in behind the injured Alexander Balderas machine, and despite the deficit in pace, it appears Balderas able to get himself right back on the move, and it seems like Tyler Tinsley knows some of the story from last season. Of course, if we get 2 more likes on the broadcast, the entire video will be released courtesy of Andrew Schulte, who's able to preserve the tape in its entirety. And if we're able to get that 15 like mark, we will in fact be able to reproduce the copy that we have and send it out on YouTube. So your support means the world. One bonus race on Wednesday night to be broadcasted if we just get 2 more likes on the broadcast. And right now they're going to be 2 wide for the race lead. James Thurston going to be chasing in on Trevor Huff here, and they're way out in front right now. The top top 4 drivers on the board, 3 of which are in your championship 4, and Trevor Huff going to be first on the board overall. He is not in the championship race. He's only raced 2 times this season, and now it's going to be big pressure from Sean Rowe. Once again, that time by Rowe going to be 1/10 faster than Thurston. Molina was 2/10 faster. They're all getting quicker than the man at 96. May James Thurston have burned up his stuff? Well, he may have, but right now, nothing is a certainty as they come down to the stripe once again. It seems like it is going to be the 96 machine, and shortly we've got an archive copy, and it's going to be for both stages of the event, pre and post lap number 18. So everything has been collected as Trevor Huff holds on the inside line. He goes way up high. He's using those apexes to perfection right now. And Sean Rowe going to be able to go right in front of James Thurston. Now Rowe's going to be leading your championship battle. And Max Molina still going to be able to pick up the scraps here. James Thurston, his teammate, got by the 96 machine. And the 45 might be pulled up as well. Now James Thurston seeing that 45. That 45 is a throwback to Kurt Busch's lone Cup Series championship in 2004. The Sharpie paint scheme, it's going to have a new sponsor. It's PBR, and Paintbrush Racing, a successful entity in the iRacing scene, now has its driver go down to the inside line for a second on the championship hunt. Down to the line once again, 1 lap to go in this stage. Next time around, and it's going to be Trevor Huff holding on. And I tell you what, every lap is exciting. This is clutch racing. Here and now for Trevor Huff. He's going to be able to lead him all the way so far. Sean Rowe now going to be out in front of the championship battle, and no other driver going toe-to-toe with the man in that 03 machine. He has to go around one more circuit before the break in the action. Now, stage wins do not count for your final 4 drivers. It won't impact the points at all. If you win, you win, and it's going to be Sean Rowe going way down to the inside line. He wants this stage win for the taking. Down to the inside there, he tries to cross him over, but the checkered and the green, it's going to come out. This time by stage 1 goes to Trevor Huff. And Huff gets it done for stage break number 1. And how about that? Oh, so close at the end there. And Sean Rowe putting up his best effort, and a valiant effort it was, but it won't be enough to get anything done that time by. And the man in the number 99 currently going to be second on the board. He does not end up winning that stage. If you enjoy the action so far, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to this channel. The FORL Cup Series returns on June 7th, and the best way to stay notified is to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Every broadcast, its race link is posted days in advance to make sure that you know when we go live before, of course, just about anyone. That's the perk of subscribing to the Fireball Talks NASCAR YouTube channel. Your support is immeasurable on this channel, and it means everything to us. Right now, Trevor Huff going to lead him down and into pit road once again. This could be the next to last pit stop we see on the night. This is your pit road entry cam right now. It's going to be Trevor Huff going in to that pole position stall, and it's going to be 3 of your championship 4 drivers directly following him. Brandon Redford finishes the top 5, and Ross Corlett and stage number 1 in 6th on the board. They come down and in. Trevor Huff going to be able to lead the way, and Sean Rowe going to be there in second. Let's see who's able to get it done as they come to the exit of pit road. Their top 2 drivers, well, they're going to be right there. It's Huff and Rowe getting in at the same time, and they all make their stalls. Execution is critical in a time like this. The 28 machine, when it comes to laps, of course, we see the 03 machine leads at lap number 28. Jonathan Leisure still on the circuit. Only 2 retirees in Jackson Carr and Brody Tostaika. Kenny Rue going to be able to get on his way, but Trevor Huff wins off pit road from Sean Rowe, James Thurston, Max Molina, and Brandon Redford. Alexander Belair is going to be able to get home in 6th, and Alex Jones passes Ross Corlett off pit road. Corlett falls down into 8th, and your championship 4 drivers had just about exactly identical times on pit road. They were separated by 0.2 of a second on pit road. Overall, 46.2 for Rowe, 46.4 for Thurston, and Brandon Redford in the high 46.1 range. So Redford actually going to be able to spoil the party just a bit, as the man in that number 96 going to see that Max Molina now going to be in a bit of trouble. He's going to be 11th on the board here, and we will see why that is the case. Let's check just a bit further back and find out just why. Molina did come out with the Rowe and Thurston machine, but it looks like a black flag for the driver in the number 45, a penalty, and it's 29 laps in, but this is critical, and I do believe this is the first penalty he's gotten all season long, and his first black flag comes at the worst possible time. It's inopportune, but he'll have to deal with it for now. As 29 laps in, Trevor Huff holds on strong, and they'll be at lap number 31 when they go back green once again. And with Sean Rowe leading the way in the championship hunt, you could see that James Thurston used up his stuff maybe a bit too much in that early going. Now, of course, it is a very, very intense period of time for these drivers. You really want to make sure that every lap counts and every moment matters. But Trevor Huff, who has been not worrying about anything, sees that Sean Rowe might be able to claw back to him later because he played it a bit more conservative than the man in that number 96. Now, the reason is, of course, Sean Rowe laid back. You could see Kenny Reel going by your screen. But right now, the driver in that number 96 on his way. So we're green flag right now. It's going to be Trevor Huff leading the way side by side. The 96 and the 99 are, and we're back underway. Stage number 2 on the move. And Brandon Redford going to be right there with them. They're going to be side by side in the mix. Take a look at this. And down the back stretch, it's going to be Trevor Huff leading the race, but then it's going to be the 96 machine and James Thurston there in second. Now, 4 race wins on the season. We've mentioned it time and time once more. He's looking for one more as the night goes on, and he dives down to the inside. He's going to try to make it work. This time by, he goes through the dog leg, and now he's going to be side by side with your race leader. Once again, every driver taking a jab at the man in the 03 machine, but the Aero Setup Shop machinery has been on target. It's like archery. You hit that 10, you've got it. It's quite like a jackpot in Las Vegas, and so far, it's been only one driver leading so far indeed. Trevor Huff leads them all thus far, and it's going to be 32 laps in out of 100. James Thurston in second, and Sean Rowe there in third. Now, every driver going to be on the same strategy. Strategy being homogenized means that Max Molina able to tear through on raw pace. Now, Molina, of course, that penalty was very crucial to this run. He still has one more to regroup, and if they go green all the way from here on out, which it looks like they might, well, it's going to be very bad news for him if he does not get a perfect pit stop next time around. iRacing has introduced a new auto fuel feature, and this feature means that they can mess with how much fuel you take in due to an automated estimation, and it seems like on iRacing recently, these estimations have been very wrong. Some drivers are relying on auto fuel for their strategy, some others doing it manually to make sure that it's all correct, and it depends on how you take your strategy as a given or as a calculative measure that the driver has to take care of. Now, as it stands, the man in the number 91 machine of Ross Corlett, he's had a bit of a team around him all season long. Now, PBR is a lot of drivers, but not a lot of crew. Ross Corlett had a crew chief and a spotter last time we went racing at Daytona. It was Bryce Hamrick. Hamrick, one of the most successful drivers in this league this season, not able to make the final few races due to work and, of course, other activities outside the sim. But on his final free week of the year, he dedicated his final hour or so to making sure Corlett would make it to the final 4 in a 10-point battle. And due to that help, Ross Corlett was able to make it in. Right now, running 9th, and he's 4th of the 4 drivers in the championship play, as Molina chasing Brandon Redford and getting closer using that dog leg to cut down distance. And Trevor Huff still leads by a 10th of a second, although it's going to be Sean Rowe going down to the inside here. Let's take a lap on board with the man in that number 99. And it appears time after time, Sean Rowe makes it work off exit. You can see he dives it in just a bit, but the handwork we saw during the final segment of the circuit before the start-finish line, the new and improved turns 3 and 4, well, he was able to use that handwork to get a bit off of exit and make it a bit of a smaller gap. Now, everyone goes down to the inside line in this final segment, and this drone shot shows you they drive all the way up high, the banking and whatnot, and that time around, Sean Rowe only about 3/100th of a second slower, so while he is losing time, he's not losing all too much, and it could be recoverable as the night goes on. That remains to be seen. One more like on the broadcast, that we have an extra race to be broadcasted on Wednesday night. That will be your Season 1 finale in its entirety, as Trevor Huff holds on strong there in first. It's going to be James Thurston still in second, as they are already 37 laps in, and you know what that means. Our caution next time around going to be within 15 laps here, the second and final stage break of the season, coming closer and closer to this broadcast. And Brandon Redford going to go up high that time around. Max Molina looks to be the fastest man in this hunt. Last time by, he ran a 27.6 7-4. Compare that to James Thurston, 26.8, now 27.8, and Sean Rose slipping back. Brandon Redford able to make it to the third, and Redford, a new and improved driver this season. Now, of course, he made it to the Final Four last time around, but it was not the best season for him overall. An inconsistent year, and it was a very, very limited group of drivers that were in that series last time around. The FORL Cup Series has expanded, gotten higher quality talent week after week, and the guys that you want to chase, like Rowe, Molina, and Thurston, he's doing battle with them, and he is performing quite well. It's a very good show for the man in that number 47 machine. Brandon Redford right there with Max Molina down at a stripe once again, and now Molina second in the championship hunt. As you can see, James Thurston just about a half a tenth better that time around than Brandon Redford. Although it's very little performance increase right now, Redford might have been able to hold on to Molina, and that he is doing. The 47 machine is playing defense for the 96, whether intentional or not. You're knowing that these men up front, the 45 and the 99, will have none of it, and they'll try to get by the Brandon Redford machine as soon as possible. Sooner and sooner they're able to make it so, and now Brandon Redford trying to steal the show on the high side. John Rowe getting closer and closer himself as James Thurston is inching closer to the battle for the lead. And right now, Trevor Huff has had nobody to battle all night long. And as the track has gotten darker and the stands are, of course, emptier than we usually see, it's going to be Trevor Huff adapting to the track circuit better than any other driver down to turn 4 once again. And he leads him down to the stripe as if it's nothing. The man in that 03 leads in the lap number 42. James Thurston has about an 1/8 of a second advantage over the PBR men in the number 45 and the 99. And they go door banging with Brandon Redford here. And Redford, while it is a championship race, he's not giving these men an inch. And the drive by the man at the number 47, it is indicative of a championship run and perhaps next season. And of course, there's always next year. And next season is going to be this year. And now Redford showing whenever we go back racing again, he'll have one for them as Molina dives down at a dog leg to try to get rid of the Brandon Redford machine in his sights, and almost clear, but no cigar once again. And side by side, these two drivers continue to be taking a look from the rear chase camera that's been modified to become a drone shot. That 45 battles down to the line once again. The 47 goes in, and Sean Rowe gonna take it 3 for a moment. He's gonna have to consolidate his line there. Molina goes down on the inside line, and that could be it. And that it is. Brandon Redford now gonna be cleared by Max Molina. Molina makes it the third. It's gonna be a crossover move though, and Redford goes down to the inside line once again. And 45 laps in next time around, Brandon Redford is driving the race of his life here and now. And while he might not be in the championship battle, he is oh so close to your championship drivers. The second and third seed in the championship at the moment right now are door banging with Redford, and that might be one door bang too many. Redford gonna be a bit upset about that, that's for certain. And as they come down to the line, Redford now is gonna spin right in front of Sean Rowe. He goes around, does he save it? It looks like he's not gonna be able to, but nobody else gonna hit him. And Brandon Redford losing time. He's gonna be back on his way. No caution gonna fly, but that could have been major as the 47 machine has some contact with a man in that number 99, and it looks like he tries too hard to make it happen, and then hits Sean Rowe, and Rowe just has to dispose of him like it's nothing. Now Sean, it looks like he does not have all too much damage that time by. He was just about in the range of pace as Max Molina by about half a second. We'll see if he's able to regroup, but now Molina has nothing more to focus on but the man in second. Very little to do from here on out but claw him back in. And James Thurston knows that the threat is back on its way, and it's going to be a motile threat now as the 96 machine has fallen right behind your race leader in Trevor Huff, but has not been able to make anything happen so far. And 46 laps in, going to become 47, and that time by Max Molina just about dead even, but Sean Rowe was faster, and even though he hit a driver, he appears to be the fastest man on the racing circuit. And the driver in the number 99, he might have made contact with Brandon Redford. Redford, as a matter of fact, going to be down in 11th now. It looks like the 99, despite any damage, despite any incident so far, is the fastest of the championship 4 in this event. Trevor Huff going to be top of the board. Nonetheless, 47 going to become 48 laps in out of 100, and almost at the halfway point already. And the man in the 03 machine has raced this one clean, and almost halfway through to our second stage break, he could get his second and final stage win on the season. And what a way to do it if he's able to dominate this final event of the year. He's only raced twice in this league, and last time around he led just about the most laps compared to anyone, but it's Daytona, and at Daytona anyone can win. So Trevor Huff at a track reliance on your driver skill and your driver ability has led them all so far. 49 laps in out of 100. Gotta thank the great crowd out here tonight. If your favorite driver is in the mix, well, be sure to let them know. The chat room always read by the drivers post-race. They love to hear what you have to say, as we have hit our bonus marker for the Season 1 race to be debuted next Wednesday at 8:30 Eastern. Keep an eye out on that. Season 1 gonna come right back at you one more time before we go on to Season 3. But right now, your final stage break in Season number 2 coming up. And lap 50 out of 100. Thurston goes down to the inside line. Trevor Huff getting right there with them, and they're side by side off of the final corner. Thurston getting close, uncomfortably close for Trevor Huff. He's able to get a dry, sends it off, and the final stage break of the season. Stage number 2, it looks like it won't be for James Thurston, but it will be for the 03 of Trevor Huff. The caution flies, and we have 50 laps to go in the season. And the yellow flag comes out as Trevor Huff wins stage number 2 on the night. An undeniably great run for the man in first. He's led them all so far, and this could be your final pit stop of the season. And the implications of what happens from here on out are absolutely perhaps the most important moments in this league's history. 2 great seasons of racing, and it all comes down to one more pit stop. If you want to get it done, well, you need to expertly craft your way through. And expertise, it's held by a lot of these drivers, but we'll see who is the best of them all as they come into it one last time. How about this? The final pit stop of the season going to be on the verge, as it's going to be Trevor Huff and James Thurston 1-2 as they go down a pit road for what could be the final time. A caution would throw a wrench into this equation, but so far, Cash Culp goes by. Only a few lap cars. Kenny Reel going to be on the move in that number 11 machine, and Reel starting this one 23 laps down. Unfortunately for his case, he's not going to be where he wants to be at all, and the 03 machine goes in this time around. Maximilian going to be in the mix himself, and the number 45 machine holds on strong here in Phoenix. They all come in tow, and the man at the 03 machine, Trevor Huff, leads them down to the pit exit, and he's oh so close, but he's got to get through in first to make it happen. It's going to be 4 tires and fuel, presumably, for every driver, and 50 laps in, the notebook, it is just about full. Go with what you got here. If you have expertise that you think will suit you from here on out, you just have to trust your own feeling about it. It's going to be Huff leading James Thurston that time around. Then it's going to be in the 3rd spot. Maximilian, Sean Rowe going to be there, and Alex Jones rounds at your top 5 off pit road, as it looks like Cash Culp is going to be your race leader on a bit of a different strategy. He gets 1 lap led, and that might be the final lap he leads all season long. Cash Culp comes to the pit road, and Trevor Huff will lead him from here on out. Perhaps if he's only able to hold on from here on out, it could be his first win in his 2nd appearance in this league. For those who are joining us for the first time tonight, this is indeed the season finale to an 18-race season in the FORL Cup Series. 2 seasons of history so far. Your Season 1 champion in Kyle Freeman not here to defend his trophy tonight. He did make a playoff run, but it was short-lived out in the first round, the round of 16. And the round of 16 actually became the round of 15, as it then became the round of 11, the round of 7, and then the round of now 4. And we go back to the way it is in the NASCAR Cup Series, with the final 4 drivers competing for everything they've got, and for all the marbles here in Phoenix. And even if they come up short, those drivers, they know that they put everything on the line from here on out, from super speedways, road courses, intermediates, short tracks, and everything that we have seen. It's been a great showing from each and every one of these men, as this is the final night to prove what you got. Next season, we're hoping to use the Next Gens once again, and it's going to be another tour of similar length. So the viewers who are stopping by for the first time want to stick around, of course, be sure to subscribe to the channel to know when we'll be back next to the FORL Cup Series. We'll be live tomorrow night as well. But also, be sure to join our official Discord server for insider access to every league that we broadcast. That is right. We've got access to every league. If you want to join them as a viewer, as a spectator in there, as a driver, what have you, you want to make it in, we have the ticket. Be sure to join our server. Go to the Broadcasted Leagues channel in it, and you'll be able to join any league of your liking. The FORL Cup Series, great talent on display, and Trevor Huff been the greatest of which all night long. We hope you enjoy tonight's presentation live on FTN as we get back into it, what could be the final restart of the night. And so far, this race has been remarkably clean. Kenny Reel, who's currently over 20 laps down, he is not able to make it back on the lead lap. Mathematically, his shot will be closed by lap number 75 here. we'll see whether or not he's got what it takes to even get back onto the lead lap. Mason Moriarty, last time we went racing in the IORA Cup Series, won from 13 laps down to the IORA Cup Series, of course, the Thursday Night League. But Wednesday nights, it's all about the tight-knit competition, and we're not a super speedway. We are in Phoenix. The season decider in NASCAR is the season decider here, and this could be your championship deciding restart. Let's get back at it once again. Could be the Trevor Huff machine out in front. Stage 3, the final stage of the season, starts here and now, led by the number 03. Here we go. One final time. Stage 3 begins. Side by side for the championship lead. Max Molina right there with James Thurston. And these two drivers getting oh so close. And in iRacing, every lap is as crucial as the next. And right now, these drivers are driving just like that is the case. Very few opportunities to make it by after this initial start. If you want to get the championship, you have to be an ace from the beginning. And right now, Molina down to the inside line as it's going to be Trevor Huff washing way up high. James Thurston right there in tow. And as they go side by side once again, Molina's going to be there with Trevor Huff. And now Max Molina leads the way in Phoenix. And this is about the most intense it's going to be for any driver all night long. Take a look at the onboard shot. We've got a camera from the Max Molina sim rig, and we'll get it in on your screen in just a moment. Take a look at this. This is the man in that number 45 machine in all of his iRacing glory. The 45 on your screen is ran by Max Molina. That's a look at what's inside his cockpit, and his real cockpit with his sim rig, his steering wheel, and he is as stern as any driver can be. As the 45 comes around once again, Molina leads the way here, and he has it by quite a wide margin now. Trevor Huff, the dominator all night long, right now is not running out in front, and he is certainly going to hope to get back there in due time. But the time for him, it is not now, as we will get more word from the onboard cameras in just a moment. Give us just a moment indeed to get us back to the full screen action, and you can see that with Molina there in first, Trevor Huff going to be in second, James Thurston, the man who rounds out your top three, has been able to play it nice and smooth with very little issue for him. But the only issue now, it looks like the man in the number 45 getting right there, and it looks like Ross Corlett spun. That's going to be very bad for his championship chances. We're going to replay on what just happened to the 91 machine. He is indeed caught up by the apron, and this is going to be a bit of a close-up shot. Will take a much better angle. The 91 machine, who was your final of the championship four, looks like he got involved in an incident, and he did get caught on the apron. Bryce Hamrick, very bad news for the 91. Of course, every driver has one fast repair, but with no cautions flying besides the opening caution and your stage brakes. Bad news for the man at number 91, and I don't know what he's going to be able to do from here on out. Bryce, thank you for the insight there. CCH Motorsports with a great season nonetheless, and we hope that he keeps his head up high. Ross Corlett, a great asset to this league. As it is, though, the 9-45 machine for PBR has been able to take that lead on the restart, and we mentioned it, and it looks like what we said was just about perfectly on the mark. Max Molina with the Sharpie marker on the side of his car, looking to get a championship done the same way Kurt Busch did in that paint scheme almost 20 years ago. Of course, for Kurt Busch's case, he got it done at Homestead. He did not have to get it done in Phoenix, and Phoenix is a whole other wrench in the equation. Now, Homestead, Miami, a 1.5 mile circuit, one of the most unique on the NASCAR Tour. Progressive banking there, but minimal banking in Phoenix means that it's always going to be a challenge for any driver to get it done. Drivers such as Alan Kowicki, owner drivers, have been able to rise to the challenge here, and of course, in recent times, the most dominating drivers such as Chase Elliott. He's been able to win here for his 2020 title. Joey Logano got his title done in 22. So if you want to win a championship in NASCAR, quite frankly, you go through Phoenix or you go through another year of heartache. And right now, heartache is what Max Molina wants to avoid. That time by, he was about 0.02 of a second slower than James Thurston. So James is gaining, but not all too much. 0.02 of a second. He's 0.4 back, and at that pace, he'll have to gain more and more. And this time he does. He's able to gain a total of 0.04 of a second. And now the 96 is on the move. Looking onto the inside line, he's going to be able to go there. The apex. He's running it nice and smooth, and Thurston dialing in once again. And right now, he's giving all that he has in that number 96 machine. And Thurston, we saw on that first stage run, he has the power to get right up there, and we'll see if it takes him to the end of the hour, because so far, Thurston has shown that short run pace is immense, but on the long run, things begin to fall apart for him, and that's of course what he wants to avoid. And right now, he's been able to do a good job of avoiding just that, but we've only gotten about 15 laps in on this cycle. And with 36 laps to go, time is indeed of the essence, and time is in fact running out, but you truly don't want to mess it up here and now. You just want to execute to the checkered flag. And he's getting closer and closer as we mentioned it. Look in the rear view of Max Molina. He has some pressure now, and it's going to be Thurston going down to the apron every time. And now, with Ross Corlett being clipped on that apron, the drivers know there is a possibility of getting caught out, as Brandon Redford is going to be in big trouble once again. Redford down to the apron once more. Not going to be a caution because he's down to the apron, and he is done, it appears, for the night down to pit road. As you can see, Molina still is your leader, and thankfully no caution for cause. Redford, the heads-up driver that he is, takes it down to pit road immediately, and the 45 leads from James Thurston, but it's only going to be about 0.4 of a second flat now. And while it's one thing to catch a driver, it's another to pass some. It seems like James Thurston, every time he's gotten up to a man, has been able to get through, short of what happened to Trevor Huff on that second stage break. Well, it seems like Trevor Huff right now running fourth on the board, and he knows now that these drivers up in front are all gung-ho on winning the championship, and I don't think he's backed up at all, but it certainly seems like these three up in front have been able to push to 110%, and they might have been laying back earlier on, but these guys have gotten as much practice as they could get in. Practicing for a championship event in iRacing is far from uncommon. You might not realize it as a viewer, and I admittedly might not realize it myself as a broadcaster, but this becomes a big deal for drivers. Molina looking to take it home, yet another championship for his team in a paintbrush racing, an incredible operation led by Zach Todriff, and tonight they could get yet another title, and it could be theirs once again. But James Thurston for Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports, the brand new team that he's an owner driver for, well, he's looking to drive them up to victory lane, and right now he appears to be the fastest man in that championship battle. But it's not over yet, and it's not close to over, as he continues to execute time after time. And execution is the only way to win a championship with stakes like this. And a high stakes race such as what we're seeing here in Phoenix means that any driver could make a mistake at the tail end. Last season, Alexander Balderas, as we mentioned before, led with 2 laps to go, and he bended into the high side of the wall, and then Kyle Freeman went on to win the race. Kenny Wheel going to come down to the inside line. Alexander Balderas going to be the newest retiree on the night, 13 laps down as is, and the real machine going in once again. And the Wapo looks to be done for his season. A great season overall. Top 10 in points. I believe he's able to just hit it, but it won't be much more on the night for him. Lights out for the number 11, a very unfortunate end to his run this year. But right now, it's not going to be lights out for James Thurston. He's getting right up to that bumper. Look at him go inside the cockpit here. And that's Max Molina's interior. Here's a look at James Thurston's. And Thurston backs off that time. He charges it up for the exit once again. And with less than 30 laps to go now, coming down to the line, you can see that the 96 is just trying to find a way to methodically move by the 45. That time around, he has to think better of it, but he's certainly getting closer and closer, and now they're separated by only about 1/10.5 here, and this gap has been diminishing time after time, and it's unbelievable what we're seeing out of both of these drivers. Incredible discipline and incredible driving ability, as James Thurston is right there with the driver in the number 45. It's going to be Max Molina holding on strong. James Thurston there in second, and now it's going to be 28 laps to go. Sean Rowe going to be third on the board, and as he watches his teammate battle for the championship, one can only wonder what's going on in his mind. Now, of course, he does not want his teammate to wreck. That could mean James Thurston gets the title, but watching this aggressive battle out in front, he might just question him to himself. What if they wreck? What if they do get involved in an incident? And how will I be able to cut right through? Now, of course, white flag action. We could see it in the championship battle. We've seen it in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. The final lap, Daniel Hemrick getting his one and only win to this date in the NASCAR National Tour. He did a slide job, but right now it's sliding down to the inside line. It's James Thurston. 27 laps to go. He's going to go double five for the race lead. Molina gets the powerful exit, and he's going to be able to clear once again. Thurston gets there, slams the door. Molina does, and they'll continue to battle. Down to the inside line once again, Max Molina gets oh so close, too close to comfort when it comes to losing that lead. And coming down to the line once again, the 45 now takes it to the apex, the dog leg, as hard as he can. And Phoenix Raceway has only had that dog leg open for just more than a decade, so it's very much an opportunity for Max Molina to thank the track redevelopment team for, because it's not been like that all this time. But now that it is, all these drivers have so much more room to use on the track as they come down around once again. The 45 machine knows that he has it by a decent margin, but a decent margin is never good enough in a competitive field just like this. I'm not counting James Thurston out, not at all. I think both of these drivers still have a great opportunity to get it done, and I'm certain that they think that as well. Trevor Huff's still going to be in fourth. Sean Rowe is gaining slowly but surely, and this time by, he might be able to gain about a tenth or two on James Thurston, as it looks like he's about 0.2 of a second off of his average pace per lap. That time by, Max Molina runs a 28.53, Thurston runs a 7.11, and Sean Rowe runs a 5.27, so Rowe is the fastest man in the championship for now. Ross Corlett has unfortunately dropped back to being a non-factor. He is in 9th right now, and he's battling with Michael Deitch here. Kenny Reel going to be there as well, so it looks like Reel is still driving, hoping to get some more laps back. He could be able to pass Alexander Badares very soon for a 16th spot finish, but Corlett is in big trouble, gets by Michael Deitch for 8th, but Molina holds on out in front by half a second, and now he's extending his gap. 78 laps in out of 100, and the man out in front is Max Molina by now a much better margin than before. He's got about a half second, and this is the fall off we mentioned when it comes to James Thurston equipment. The tire might be used up just a bit too much, but with 22 laps to go coming up, we'll be right back. Your track cams for Gormans crank it up on a Wednesday night, coming to you one more time as the best cameras on iRacing get ready for uninterrupted use once again. We thank you all for your support tonight. A great crowd as we go to our 22 to go. Crank it up for TrackCams22.com. And taking it up the track once again with now a total of only 18 laps to go in this season, Max Molina reigns supreme for now, and he still has a decent gap to James Thurston. But as we went to our Crank It Up, brought to you by TrackCams22.com, the best cameras on iRacing might be able to show you nice and clear that James Thurston has gained in slowly but surely. He's gotten about a tenth of a second back, and Sean Rowe is now gaining 10th after 10th back. He's the fastest in this battle, and that time around he does indeed gain, and Thurston gets a bit squirrely that time by, going to lose a bit more time, and a half second astray for the man in that number 45. James Thurston now knows that he wants one more victory just about more than anyone, but the winningest driver in this series all season long is out in front once again. and he's looking to capitalize. Max Molina is one of those characters who you always have something to say to, and he always has something to say back. His interviews this season have been phenomenal, and you are sure that when we saw that stern attitude portrayed on his face very earlier on, now, when it all comes down to it, he might be able to loosen up later and just clock in laps, and putting those laps in time after time. But when he gets down to the end of it, he will know for certain that it's time to celebrate. But right now, celebration, you don't do it too early in sports, and iRacing is no different. Simulation racing, it's all virtual when it comes to the physicality of the car, but it is, of course, going to be real racing nonetheless. Clock it in once again. Going to be 15 laps to go for Phoenix and 15 laps to go on the season. 86 laps in already, one of the cleanest races we have seen all season long, and Molina holds on strong with a man of 96 machine and James Thurston there in tow. Sean Rowe going to be in third. Trevor Huff is there in fourth, and Alex Jones makes it so in fifth. For Draw Racing, not a bad run for him, second start of the season as well, and Jones with the new drivers and the new breed performing very well. Fourth and fifth for two drivers who showed up at Daytona. Hunter Whitlock coming in for a full-time run next season if he's able to make it on Wednesday nights, which I hope he does. He might be one of those to look out for. He's sixth on the season. Well, when it comes to Phoenix anyway, but right now, gaining more and more finishes to build up a full-time run next time around. Out in front, your leading battle has gotten a bit more dispersed, and there's going to be very few drivers battling. Keegan Doherty going to be there with the number 57, and Doherty right there with the man in the number 57 lead. Michael Deitch, the New Yorker, has had some great runs this season, and tonight it appears he is, in fact, on his wheel, and you can see the hand movement is far less jagged than usual, although a bit of a shift there, so I'm not sure 100%, but I do believe that he told us he'd be on wheel for the final few races of the season, and tonight is no different. It is the season finale, no less, and Deitch holding on to a top 10 spot in what could be the last run he's got, and as Molina coming up to Doherty and Deitch, going to be able to make it so a dozen laps remain here in Phoenix. And every lap leading up to the climax of this event, which will be, of course, that checkered flag for these drivers, it's all been leading to this. No matter how you slice it, Max Molina got it done on that restart. And while James Thurston did try to pick right at him, it seems like that number 45 machine has been able to mimic the likes of Kurt Busch and keep a cool head when it matters, and sort of have an explosion afterwards, but it's not going to be in any rage or any anger at the end of the day. It's going to be the number 45 machine down to the inside once again, as he makes it so, and now no driver in tow, as the 45 has about a half second up on James Thurston. Double-digit lap count, we still have it, but the single digit's going to be coming closer and closer to us. James Thurston going to be there in second. Sean Rowe going to be in third. Trevor Huff going to be in the fourth spot, and Alex Jones is fifth on the board in the John Racing number 045. Hunter Whitlock locks himself in sixth. Joseph Lewis going to be in seventh. Ross Corlette's going to be in the eighth spot, and John Smith with a great night on his end. The No 48 machine has had a nice and smooth night in the Ty Gibbs number 54, perhaps his cleanest race all season long, so a commendable effort for him as he's 9th to the board, and Keegan Doherty has gotten by for 10th. Now it's going to be Molina gaining in on Michael Deitch. That time around, 10 laps to go. Lap machine's now going to be in the equation. What will Michael Deitch do as he's going to be put on the hot seat? Will he just bend over, or will he play defense? It looks like he's just going to go way up high and let them all go, as the 57 lets one man go. Will he let the rest go? It appears right now he goes up high there, and Thurston has to go down to the inside line. Nothing more he can do in that situation. Michael Deitch plays it all fair as Molina holds on out in front. Now, John Smith is a PBR teammate as far as we are aware. There have been some on and off moments with him and the team overall, but as it all goes down, it's going to be Sean Rowe sent on big by Jonathan Leisure. Leisure's able to hold on, but the 028 machine gets so close to that man in the number 99 that it could have been disastrous. Thankfully, it was not, and we'll take a quick look back to exemplify just what happened. You could see he was going as hard as he could with 8 laps to go here, and he gets that run, goes down to the inside line, and he sends it in on Rowe. Almost makes major contact, but thankfully runs up high with not much more to speak of. But now he goes down to the inside line. Once again, a lap machine playing with your leaders here, and he goes right by Sean Rowe that time around, and now it's going to be a bit of a troublesome situation for him. Molina, though, leads the way with 7 remaining. Now, Keegan Doherty, with the newer drivers here, he is going to most likely back off in the iRacing number 88. the flag bearer for the simulation and device that we use in iRacing Motorsport Simulation, the best place to go for online racing. If you want to join the fun, use our referral link in the description. Your support means the world. We always use what we get back from it in our broadcasting equipment, as it is going to be Molina getting right by the 88. Now one more lap machine going to be right there with him, and that is John Smith in the 048. A very chaotic driver all season long, one of those guys you just have to keep a watch out for. And as always, John Smith finds himself in the epicenter of the attention, and he's got one man right behind him that absolutely does not want to get caught up in his wrath, and that's going to be, I believe, his teammate in the 45. As we said before, due to John Smith's sort of erratic racing ways, sometimes he has some on and off spiels with this team, but more often than not, he's running with the PBR guys as good as he can get them, and Sean Rowe now being battled by lap machines, Doherty and Leisure, slowing him down, but with 5 laps to go, Max Molina holds on strong out in front. John Smith, the final lap man to be part of the play. He's going to let the number 45 machine go. James Thurston is now in trouble himself. Jonathan Leisure is going to be faster here, and Leisure goes down to the inside line, and it's going to be a leisurely run for him, but the pressure is oh so high for James Thurston, and Thurston lets him by. Rowe has one driver beat, and that's going to be Doherty, and now Kenny Reel in the equation himself. Molina getting raced by John Smith here, but it looks like Molina is just fast enough to hold on regardless. Now it's going to be Jonathan Leisure ahead of James Thurston, and it's going to be 2 lap cars. The buffer for the man at the number 45 machine. He's out in front with a PBR number 45 playing P1, and the offense he has to be on. This is the most important segment of the season. 3 laps, 3 miles, and it all comes down to this once again. He's just got to make them through once more. And James Thurston now sees that John Smith is right in front of him. What will he do, and what can he do? As it's going to be an onboard shot we see. Smith is going to go right up high. Thurston tries to slide by. It looks like he's going to be able to make it dead even off the corner, and they're going to be side by side down the back. Smith gets that edge. Kenny Reel's now racing the 99 machine of Sean Rowe, but with 2 laps remaining here in Phoenix, it's going to come down to this. Jonathan Leisure is getting close to your leader here, and it's going to be a lap machine with the man out in front. This could be the game changer, as Leisure is on a bit of a different strategy in terms of tires. 19 lap run for him, and he has newer tires, but he is currently not as quick. Max Molina comes down to the white flag this time by. One more turn to get there, and we'll ride aboard with his perspective to the line. Take a look at this. You're going to see him on your screen in just a moment. This is the man in the number 45. One more lap for Max Molina. And Molina out in front by a nice margin. James Thurston going to be there in second. Of course, Sean Rowe in third. But 18 races this season, and it's been an incredible ride. But the winningest driver might be able to come home on top. Leisure gives him a bump, but at this point, it's no use. Nothing more can stop him. They wreck behind him for second in the championship. But first, it's all his. Max Molina, at the end of the day, gets it done, and he wins the second running of the FORL Cup Series. The champion gets it done for Phoenix. And you can see his reaction on your screen. And his virtual form, as calm and collected as you've ever seen anyone. And the ecstatic man of Max Molina in the real world, just about the happiest man you can see on iRacing tonight. Wednesday nights belong to him. And Max Molina wins the second championship running of the FORL Cup Series. Make room, Kyle Freeman. We've got a new champ in town. Supermax, as Leandro J. Taro would say, gets it done. And taking a moment to recollect his thoughts, this one's for him. And the 45 machine with Whitlock pulling into frame. Everyone congratulating your champion. At the end of the day, just about the most deserving driver you could have gets it done. Bogdan gets right there. Every driver wants a piece of this success. But this time around, he gets it. Zach Chodger will get a word from our owner, who wins the Manufacturers Championship first and second in the title battle, it appears, when it comes to manufacturers. So Zach will get you in after your drivers finish the celebration, as Molina wins from Sean Rowe, 1-2 for PBR. And this is a moment that Max Molina will never forget. His iRacing career undeniably sees another major boost. What a man and what a drive. Max Molina, Mr. Excitement. And the way his idol of Kurt Busch got it done in 2004, he gets it done here and now in 2023. And Sloppy Joe, thank you for stopping by. Great to see the content creators support here tonight. A great show. It came down to it, and we hope to see you in the future on this channel. Of course, content creators got to support one another right now. Creating the content himself, Max Molina takes a Polish victory lap. And the Polish victory lap debuted at Phoenix when Alan Kulwicki won his first race, and he said there'd never be one more special than his first. Well, this one might be the most special for Max Molina thus far. And rolling the dice, the 45 machine does. And he gets it done in style. Nick Visconti, thank you for stopping by as well. It's great to see the fan support for the man who really put it together in his own way, Max Molina. And we hope to see him next season. Gets it done. He was a dominating force in this season, the winningest driver with 5 on the board, and he plays a part once again. Now it appears we have just a bit of time, so as he continues his Polish victory lap, we'll get your results in, and hopefully he does get it burning out, and as soon as he gets it there, we'll show you the final burn of the year, uninterrupted, as he now backs it in, and it looks like he's going to get to it. And Molina still going. And this is about the best wins he's ever gotten here in iRacing. He's out to celebrate it. And back on the way, Max Molina comes down to the start-finish line to continue his burnout, and it's going to be John Smith who greets him. And the celebration goes on for a man who surely had it over everyone all season. 18 races, he wins 5 of which, and he's going to be led by John Smith, perhaps back down to pit road. And we'll get word from Max Molina and every driver in this championship battle as soon as they are ready to get in. But I'm certain that Max Molina is still collecting everything he's got for us as we keep it going. Undeniable that the 45 machine put together the race of a lifetime. And down to the inside once more, Max Molina will go, and he makes it so now. The man out in front takes it into pit road for one final time this season. And that will be all she wrote. He's a champion, and there's nothing that can take that one away from him. Unbelievable stuff. Max Molina had it all year long. As he goes into the garage for victory lane, give us just a moment to get your interview systems right back up and loaded. We'll be right back as we do just that. And we are going to be good to go back on the air. You can see Max Molina now onto pit road. How about it? And we'll get your championship 3 in first, Cash, but Max Molina in victory lane. It's now standing still, and we'll get the best angle for it. And it appears it might just be one of our drone shots as the 45 holds his head up high and gets it done from Phoenix. Let's get him in right here and now. Undeniable that every driver wants a piece of that success, and tonight only one driver able to get it done in the same vein as your championship winner, Max Molina. After every trial and every tribulation, you win the second championship here in the FORL Cup Series. How do you feel?
Oh my gosh, dude. I don't know what to say, man. I am speechless. Absolutely speechless. I mean, I just at the start of this race, I had a feeling, I wasn't gonna be the fastest, and since I was starting like the, in dirty air or whatnot, it was gonna be pretty tough to see what my car actually, drove like. And the first two stages, man, it was just all about, gauging and like how can I save my tires? How can I, keep up with Thurston, Sean, and Trevor at the up front? And it was, yeah, it was it was very, very mentally taxing on me, man. It was a long race, man. I tell you what, that last last stage, that was the longest last stage I've ever ran at Phoenix, man. It was, I swear, it took forever to get that stage over. But man, it was just, once I saw that, when we're working through the lap traffic, and I was getting through them better than Thurston, and Thurston was getting held up, I knew with about 3 to 2 to go, once it got to a second lead, I knew that was I think that was the end of or the nail in the nail in the final coffin, as Marty Reed said one time. But it was such an awesome season, man. Starting from Daytona, not really knowing what this league was about, and learning the tough way about how everyone drives, how aggressive they are, and and learning myself how to pace myself with this next gen car. This is the second championship I've had with a next gen car, and it's a completely different rules package, and update, and car model and everything. And it's just, I tell you what, man, this season has thrown so much curveballs at me, from getting on a little bit of roll at the beginning of the season, and then going on quite a bit of drought heading into the playoffs, and then getting I think a win in at least every single round. And I knew once we got into this playoffs, it was going to be me and Thurston and Sean Rowe. It was going to be a titanic battle, and boy, it was just so tough to really out battle Thurston throughout this race, man. I mean, he was able to he was able to get from 7th, I believe, after that first caution at the beginning, and go all the way to 2nd. And I knew from that point, it's man, it's going to be tough keeping up with him with that car that he's got. And I knew all of it's going to take is just one restart. One restart's going to get me the lead. And once it came off the pit road that last time for that final stage, rolling off 3rd, I knew as long as I have the bottom line off of this restart, I know that I have a shot to win this championship. And once I restarted right behind Trevor, I was trying to time it as best as I could, and I feel like I timed it pretty good to when Trevor went. And made sure I didn't pass the yellow line before the start finish line. I saw other people do that early in the race and got penalized for that, so I just want to make sure that didn't happen to me. And then just just full send in that after that restart. It was just I knew it's I played this scenario out in my head, whether it was going to be this restart or just a late race caution in general. I really played this scenario out in my head. Just I just had to send it. I just have to send it and hope it stuck. And man, it was I can't even put into words how hard I drove that car. I mean, it was unbelievable. I was just throwing it to every corner, hoping it stuck. And man, I gotta thank Trevor for racing me hard and clean there. He told me post race that once he realized it was us championship 4 up front battling, and I was battling him hard, he kind of let it off and let us battle it out for ourselves up front. And I gotta thank him for that. That was mad respectful for him for doing that. And man, Trevor, he probably had the car to win this race. He was the fastest guy out there. He's the only guy to outpace Thurston. And man, it was such a pleasure to race with him last 2 weeks. And it was after I got past Trevor, I just knew I just had to pace myself like I did the first 2 stages, and just make sure I did not wear out the right rear. That's a problem that I had when I tested, is whatever brake bias I used, it was just I was wearing out the right rear more than anything else, and that's what happened in the first 2 stages. And I was just making sure that I did not slip that right rear out of 3 or out of corners 2 and 4, because that's where my struggling point was. And once I got clear of Thurston and Trevor, pushed for a couple laps, and then that's when I started pacing myself and made sure I didn't didn't wear out my tires. And man, it was just all about tire management that last stage, man. It was just managing the gap that I had to Thurston, and man, it was just lap after lap, lap after lap. I was just checking on the backstretch, looking up on my mirror and looking at the relative just to make sure, I wasn't losing any time. I was just keeping him at bay for the most part. And man, he was making a couple of runs at me. He made like 2 or 3 runs over that run. And, I saw him get close to me a couple of times. He got right up to my rear bumper, didn't turn me, and he just got me super, super loose. And, man, I was just hanging onto that car, driving the wheels off that thing, making sure that I got home to the checkered. And man, when crossed that finish line, it was just the biggest weight lifted off my shoulders. It was just it was just unbelievable. Just the emotions I felt are just indescribable to how, just winning this championship. It just means the world to me, winning such a big stage like this in FORL, and man, it's just unbelievable.
And how about that? I'd say he gave us everything the fans wanted to hear. Eloquently put, as always, Max Molina. Now, when it comes down to it, I'm sure you've got a lot of people to thank at the end of the day. Winning the championship here in FORL, who would you like to thank in any final thoughts? Because I tell you what, you gave us, I think, everything we wanted to hear as viewers and as a broadcaster.
Yeah, I know I'm a little long-winded like that, man. But, first off, I want to thank Jesse Lawson and Rich Wilson. They told me today at work that if I shouted them out in the stream, if I won the championship, they get me lunch the next day. So, hey, I'm getting lunch the next day, so I got to shout them out. Thanks to those guys for checking in on me at work and seeing how my racing is doing in this league. And, and I also want to thank all my sponsors, man. Everyone at Team PBR, I say it every single week. They are the ones that really help me out. Is just, they're the backbone of this team, honestly. Like Zach Todriff, Sean Rowe, Jackson Carr, Jason Middleton. I mean, all those guys, they're awesome in PBR, and I wouldn't be here without them, honestly. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to, have the confidence that I have to go out and win championships like this. And I'm forever grateful that I'm part of this team. And then I got to thank Built Bar for sponsoring me, and then Maverick Car Company for being on my car. That's the place I work for. And then DeHub Motorsports for backing me on this in this journey, man. It's been amazing. And I told everyone in the race chat, thanks to everyone who raced this season. It has been an absolute pleasure to learn everyone's racing style and see how everyone does throughout each race and each track. And it's such a pleasure to race with such an awesome group of guys in this league. And thanks to Joaquin Stewart, man, it's awesome that he's able to put up a league like this. And I thank him so much just for letting me join this and have so much fun. And then I gotta thank you, man. It's been a pleasure being able to be interviewed by you every single race that I've won this season, and every single race that I finished on the podium. We seriously wouldn't have the exposure that we do for this league without you. And, we probably wouldn't have this much hype and build up to this season finale without you. So I thank you so much for doing this, man.
And undeniably, we have to thank you, Max Molina. 18 great races, and the winningest driver of the season is the man who comes out on the top of the board at the end of the day. Max Molina, after all the trials and all the tribulations, gets it done as the race winner in the final round of the second season in the FORL Cup Series. Max, we hope to see you again next season. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, buddy. I'll be enjoying this for a while.
And that's what we love to see. Max Molina, Season 2 champion, looking for one more next time around. Thank you once more.
Hell yeah, buddy.
And there we have it. Max Molina going to be on the way, so we're going to go right back to our live feed. And it looks like Sean Rowe was unfortunately disconnected for the night. Got to thank him, nonetheless, for showing up every race and giving us a great championship battle. Now, next up, the man in the number 03 machine. That's going to be Trevor Huff and his team owner in Cash Cope. And it looks like both of these men, they want an interview together. And a great way to finish off this season. Trevor, you're a breakout star, it appears. We'd love to see you back next season. And Cash Cope, you got one hell of a driver going into this next run. Season 3 on the way. How do you guys feel about the end of Season 2 for your operation?
Yeah, man. Sorry, go on.
Now you can go on.
I absolutely loved it. You know, the first 2 races that I did, it was a lot of fun just to learn and have fun with these guys. You know, I've known these guys for a little while, and when I found out about this league, it was too late, and you know, I thought, oh, I can't make it in, but Joaquin was nice enough to get me in and get me on Cash's team so I can run these final 2 races. And man, I've just had so much fun running it, and Cash is just, it's been awesome to run with him, and like I said, I've had a lot of fun. It's been a great experience.
And I believe it's going to be turned over to Cash on this one, so I'll give you both a time to talk.
Yeah, I'm proud of the job Trevor has done for our team. He's been contender for both races, and I feel very proud to have him on our team. Next season, I'm going to be racing for him. I still have I'll still have my team set up, but it's been a pleasure to race with Trevor, and he's a very good friend of mine, and I'm very proud of the job he has done for our little team that just started.
And a great start to your operation here now, of course, coming in at Daytona and, of course, in Phoenix. A dominating run for Trevor throughout the first half of the race. And it seems like the championship drivers took it to tunnel vision at the tail end. But there's so much more to see next time we go racing. We come back to the Clash at Daytona on June 7th. So a little bit of time off. How's it going to be like for you guys to prepare your operation going back at it next time through?
Oh, well,
yeah, we're going to take a lot of time, kind of, you know, recuperate. I'm going to do a lot of official sessions, you know, build up my abilities, get better, because I know one thing that I was really struggling with was tire wear in this race. And I knew, because I thought at first I was fighting with Molina too hard, and I'm like, I got to let these guys go, because these guys are the championship drivers, and I don't want to end up hindering them, you know. I just wanted to have some fun, and I feel like I had fun in the first 2 stages coming out, winning those. I felt like all I wanted to do was just running those, you know, show what I can do, and then let those guys fight it out.
And the championship drivers, they all fought it out, but the next time we go racing, it's all fair game. And Cash Culp and Trevor Hupp, great to have you guys on board. The rising stars in this league, they're plentiful. And this operation you two have, it seems to be comprised of 2 great drivers. Now, as we go into next season, we're going to wrap this one off, get a few other drivers in. I believe Zach Todger, the constructors winner for the championship hunt here, he wants a word, so we'll have to give you guys a little more time here. Any final thoughts from the both of you and anything else you'd like to add before we head to season number 3?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my all my friends, my family, for being there. Had a lot of my family watching. Hi, Mom. A lot of my friends, family, and huge thank you to Aero Setups. He's a huge, big friend of mine. You know, go check him out, Aaron Schugel. He's a great guy. He sponsored my car for this season. Didn't get the fresh paint scheme off, but really glad to have him on the car. Cheerios, of course, kind of title sponsor, and yeah, that's about it. Really appreciate you streaming this for us all so that we can enjoy watching some pure NASCAR racing, man.
And some great racing from Trevor Huff and Cash Culp. You got anything else to add?
Yeah, we'll be back stronger than ever. We're gonna try to get that championship next year, so it'll be fun next year. Hopefully, we'll have a good shot at the championship with me and Trevor and Connor. And my real life racing is starting up soon, so yeah. Excited about that, but we'll definitely get a lot of practice in before the season starts, and we'll come back very, very strong next year, I believe.
And looking to push as hard as one possibly can, Cash Culp, Trevor Huff, 2 great drivers to keep an eye on in season number 3, ending off strong here in the second. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Sir. Thank you.
And there we have it. Huff and Cash Culp going to be on their way. And once again, we got to thank you all for coming out tonight. This appears to be the all-time most liked stream on this channel with a total of 26. So we blew our like goal out of the window by almost double. And that means that Wednesday night will be a special archived presentation of last season's season finale, which never got broadcasted live. But we'll bring it to you with the voices of Chase Schaefer and Mason Moriarty on the box for that event. Max Molina, his team owner, wants a word with us. And I think Zach Tondreff has every right to want to get one in. The man who runs Paintbrush Racing, sees a PBR number 45 come home on top. Zach Tondreff, manufacturer's champion. How do you feel?
Oh, man. PBR won too. How about that, everyone?
And a great way to finish off the season. Some of the best drivers in this league, 2 of which you field, come home first and second in the championship. How do you feel for your operation going into the next season? Of course, wrapping out this one as title winners.
Yeah, man, it feels good. You know, congrats to Max and Sean. One hell of a season from both of them. It just sucks that Sean's race got ended a little early, a couple laps early by a lap car, but you got to feel for the kid. Poured his heart out in this race. And but the bright side, we got a 1-2. Max Molina, another great driver of ours, couldn't have done it without him. And oh well, 1-2. I didn't race today. I wanted to just watch these boys' championship race, and was on the spotting box for Sean. But I'm looking forward for next season. We got a great group of guys, and hopefully we can go back to back.
And looking for a back-to-back title run. Now, I do believe this is the third championship PBR has as an organization. So what's it going to take to regroup and go for a back-to-back one here in the FORL Cup Series?
Yeah, man. Third championship as a team that started a little over a year ago. Max Molina now has 2 of them. One which is this league, and I forgot the other league, to be honest with you. I don't have it on the top of my head right now. But, we're going to regroup. We're going to see what we did wrong. A lot of us became winners. I was a winner. Max was a winner. Sean was a winner. And then, we're just all going to regroup as a team, see what we did wrong, see what we did right, see how we can, close a couple of those losses that we could have won. And hopefully we can have a full Final Four PBR championship win no matter what next season.
And always the goal for any team owner this time around. Half of their drivers were in the Final Four when it comes to 2 of 4 in that final bracket, and they come out on top with a 1-2. Zach Todger, a driver and an owner alike, how do you feel? And any final thoughts to wrap this one off?
Man, I feel great. I feel really happy for Max, man. Great guy. Everyone knows him. If anybody's watching, the Burnt Rubber Racing Warehouse Championship merch will be out soon. If any of you Max Molina lovers want to go get some Molina merch. So just want to say thank you to you for broadcasting. Thanks to Joaquin for putting the league on and letting us PBR guys come out and have some fun and race with some of the big guys. Good job to Thurston, and good job to Mr. Ross Corlett for putting on a good championship battle and battle all season long.
And a great battle all the way. Max Molina and Sean Rowe come on 1-2 for team owner Zach Todger in the paintbrush racing operation. Thank you for your time this season. We hope to see you back next time. Bye.
Thank you. Have a good night.
And there we have it. Zach Todger is going to be on his way. And in lieu of an interview from the second place driver, we got our third place driver. We'll get in Hunter Whitlock, and he might just be the final driver we close out on for the year. Now, Hunter Whitlock, 4th man on the board here in Phoenix. And you've gotten off to a hot start in this league. Next season, around the corner, and a great way to end this one off.
Yeah, no, I was fairly proud of it, I suppose. Just, I thought I'd hop in here, only because I missed my Bristol interview. I didn't even realize I finished 3rd there. But, overall, I hope to come back next season. I was really happy with my finishes. Wish I would have finished better last weekend. But somehow managed to regroup and finish 4th here tonight. So, yay.
And a great way to finish off a championship run for the guys who I believe are your teammates in the PBR camp. But at this stage, you're starting to establish yourself as a great driver in your own right. A lot of great top 5 finishes to get you on a roll. Few podiums, in fact. Next season, coming up June 7th, the Daytona Clash. What's it going to take to come back even stronger and perhaps make it a 3rd man in the Final Four for PBR?
I guess just keep talking to my teammates, and we keep working on it and getting these strategies down and working with all of them like we should. And hopefully we can all get some wins next season, and hopefully I can get my first. And I think we could all make it back to the championship 4. I think we could have definitely 3. With how the end of this season went with me and Molina, especially, I had a lot of fun working with him, and I'm really proud that he was able to take home the championship tonight. That was really awesome. I've been friends with him for a while, and honestly, ever since I joined IDK server, I just became friends with him, and that was also through Todriff. So I think the team Todriff has put together is very, very good, and I'm happy to be a part of it, and hopefully I can do the same thing I did next season, just throughout all the races.
And looking to run it back next time around. Now is Season 2, a great start to remember. Season 3 on the edge of its, of course, arrival, June 7th. That's going to be the date. Hunter Whitlock, 4th on the night here. Next season might just be living up to the full potential we've seen in this part-time entry. Any final thoughts to wrap this season off, and anyone else that you'd like to thank for this great start in the FORL Cup Series?
Overall, I just had a lot of fun this season, and I'd like to thank Todd and I guess Blake Henderson again for making a great scheme, and hopefully I can bring it back next season. And also one more big congrats to Sean Rowe and Max Molina, the two PBR guys, finishing 1 and 2 in the championship.
And a great run for his teammates. Hunter Whitlock comes fourth tonight and looking to get into the Final Four next time we go racing in season number 3. Thank you for your time.
Yep, thank you for all the interviews and the broadcasting, man.
And there we have it. Whitlock going to be on the way one more time, and that's going to lead us to your race results for the final time this season. And give us just a moment to get that up. And how about this championship run? Max Molina gets it done, and not only by winning the championship, but also by winning the race. Now, NASCAR's current rules and the rules we have in the FORL Cup Series, you don't have to win the race to win the championship. So as a result, Molina could have gotten it done from second, third, what have you, so long as he beat Rowe, Thurston, and Corlett. So we'll get in your final race results because it seems like it's an unequivocal victory for one man out in front. And the PBR number 45, in the same way his idol and Kurt Busch got it done as a champion in 04, Max Molina wins in the PBR number 45, 4 seconds up on his TBR teammate in Sean Rowe, as Trevor Huff with a great start to his season, 2 races, and getting it done for his first podium in this championship hunt. Your poster finishes there in first. It's going to be Hunter Whitlock in fourth, 14 seconds off, and Alex Jones rounds out your top 5. Ross Corlett going to be in sixth, and Joseph Lewis, the last man on the lead lap, finishes in seventh. Then it's going to be one lap down. James Thurston was second on the final stripe. Well, the final time to the stripe, his white flag lap, he was there in second, and it seems like he got involved in an incident very late. And Keegan Doherty going to be in ninth, with John Smith rounding out your top 10. From there on out, going to be Michael Deitch, Jonathan Leisure in 12th, Cash Cope 13th, Kenny Rio going to be able to reel them in for a top 15 in 14th, and Hunter Bogdan rounds out your top 15 with their final retirees going as follows. It's going to be Brandon Redford, Alexander Balderas, Jackson Carr, Broly Tostica, and then Bryce Hamrick. 98 laps down, and that will be your final field of the season. As we said before, we will be back on June 7th for the Daytona Clash, but we'll have one more 4 race broadcast. Before then, your season 1 finale archived from the archives to the publication. It'll be live on FTN for the first and only time. It was originally ran in September of 22, but unfortunately, we were not able to get it out due to some internet issues that night, some location issues, and now we'll be able to get you back to Phoenix with a different car and a different set in that Final Four with a fresh set of voices in the broadcast booth. Mason Moriarty and Chase Schaefer will have you covered on a Wednesday night one more time. I'll be back tomorrow night with the IORA Cup Series season decider and the Highline Racing League, and they will have a great run at the Bearcat Motorsports 175 in Michigan. We hope to see you there as we tune out for the final time on Wednesday nights in the second season of the FORL Cup Series. To thank everyone who's been here all season long, Joaquin Stewart, our admin team, including himself, Zach Milano, and of course every driver that participated in this year. And it's going to be the start of a great year as season number 2's champion Max Molina gets it done for Paintbrush Racing. From everyone in the FORL Cup Series, I'm David Kreutz, the presenter for tonight's broadcast, and we hope to see you next time we go live on FTN. This has been the season finale for the FORL Cup Series' second season, and Max Molina comes home as your race winner. Thank you all for watching once again, and we hope you have a great night. This has been FORL Cup Series live on FTN.